There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
You're going to hear a little bit of echo today. He's kind of using something, so I'm going to try to block it as much as I can. But yeah, this is getting carried. Awesome guy. Amazing person. Let me get him unmuted, and we'll let him introduce himself.
So, as some of you may know, I'm probably the most average couch gamer going. I am absolutely shocking on most games. Rage pretty much every single time. Not as bad as it used to be, but still pretty bad. But yeah, I've been gaming for about 5 years. I'm about 5 years old when I started gaming, and it's just been something I've loved from day one. It's got the most diverse community. You can meet the most awesome people out there from all over the world, no matter where they are, and that's the biggest draw to gaming ever for anyone. So yeah, it's amazing to be part of something like that. So yeah, I'm happy to be part of the SupForce, and it's all here. I'm completely hyped up about this, by the way, as you can tell. It's something I never expected to happen, especially in such a short time, being with SupForce from October, I think it was. I think it was October since I joined SupForce, so it's been a crazy journey.
So, right now your favorite game is COD, right? Could you imagine?
Because every single one of my friends has Call of Duty installed. It was literally the one game that I just got told to get on board and join people with, and it made it easy to organise charity events with. I love the game, and I mean I've had every single emotion playing it. I don't think I can think of one that I've not had during that entire process of Call of Duty. It's the first ever Call of Duty I've played. I've never played any of the others before. It was literally Warzone, and that's it, starting off. And it went crazy with it, really. Destiny is actually my favourite game. Destiny will always be my favourite game of all time. It's something that I'm kind of good at, and yeah, it's something I kind of want to be playing a lot more of. But I think it doesn't let me do what Warzone does. It doesn't let me interact with people like Warzone does, and I can't bring people on like Warzone does. So it's kind of one of them things. I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
Now, you say you hate it, but I've never won in Warzone. So, and every time I'm in a stream, it's usually once or twice that you're winning.
I think it's 22 wins I'm on now, and I think out of those 22 wins, I've only been alive at the end for 4 of them. And that kind of tells you how bad I am. I have carried twice, and that's where I've got the last clutch, I've got the last kill in. I did have one recently where I got the Juggernaut for the first time ever. I've never had the Jug before, and usually when you see people with the Juggernaut, they get 10 to 20 kills. I had the Juggernaut for a good 15 minutes, and I got 1 kill with it. 1 kill. It was the finishing kill. It was the one that got the win. But I wasted such an amazing opportunity to rack those kills up, to get my average up. And yeah, it's 22 wins sounds good. It sounds okay for an average player, but it's all carries. Most of it is completely being carried. And that's kind of what got me the name, really.
Well, you'll definitely have to help me out one of these times because, like I said, I still have not won the game. But I've been more of an Apex player. COD's not really my game, so.
I've been wanting to try out Apex for a long time because I think that Apex would be a perfect balance between Destiny and Call of Duty. It's one of them games that it kind of has a little bit of, not realistic elements to it, and it's kind of in the balance in between fantasy and reality sort of thing. So Apex, I keep saying, yeah, I'll go for it, I'll give it a go, and then I just bottle it and go to Call of Duty. it's kind of a terrible thing to actually say that it's a game that I want to try, and that in 4 months I've not picked it up. I've installed it. It's installed. It's literally ready to press play, but I've never just given it a shot, and I don't know why.
I'll tell you what. You get me a win in COD, and I'll get you a win in Apex.
Do a carry for carry stream. That sounds like a great idea. I think my friend wrote something on the SupForce channel, but I missed it. It's pointing at it now. It's at this one up, but I've completely missed it, dude. It was something really emotional and all, because I just seen part of it.
Can you imagine I keep forgetting to do the unmute and mute thing? So everybody doesn't know, we do have an echo going, so if he cuts out or I cut in weird ways, that's why.
Do apologize. Completely basic setup.
That's alright. We got it figured out. We'll get through this. So, what was the first game you ever played?
I remember it being Crash Bandicoot, and that's why I had a tattoo on my arm of Crash. I can't see it there, but there's a Crash Bandicoot tattoo on my arm, and it's one of the first games I remember playing. It's the only first game I remember playing. I recently asked my mum, and she says it was Streets of Rage, the fighting game on the Sega Mega Drive. Amazing game. I remember it quite well, but I don't remember it being my first game. I do remember having my first ever rage moment on that game, because I had my next door neighbour play the game with me, and I remember ripping off the head of her doll after she beat me at it. Which, to say since then, I have calmed down a lot more since then, but it's not something, you know.
Oh, man. That's a good way to take care of somebody who's beating you. Tear up their stuff. M wants to know, how many tattoos do you have?
Just 2 for now. I have a minion called Dave. My real name is David. I was 25 years old, and it was my first ever tattoo. I don't remember getting it. I don't remember even agreeing to have it. And I just remember the next day going, what have I done? And then it just became a thing. And I'd always tell everyone, if you're ever getting a tattoo, think long and hard about it. I'm fortunate I did go to a good place that did a good job with it. But always think long and hard. Fortunately for me, it's starting something, because I do want a gaming sleeve doing. So I am getting things like Sonic. I am getting Ratchet and Clank, again, 2 other games that I grew up with and that I played a lot of. And then I'm going to have the villains above them, or I might have the sidekicks above them, and then the villains, and then just have a full gaming sleeve. Which I thought about, and I think, yeah, I'm happy for that. I've already got something on my arm already, so I might as well add to it, and so it doesn't look kind of odd.
I like it. It's always rough getting a tattoo, but when you wake up with a tattoo and not remember where it came from, that's one of the worst ones.
I have a friend who owns a tattoo gun, and there's about 4 people in my area who have a tattoo from this person, who they swear down that it was a good idea at the time, and now they look back on it and think maybe not so much.
We all got those tattoos, buddy. We all do. Yes, if you guys have any questions, just at SupForce. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with a lot right now, but just go ahead and at SupForce, and I'll ask him your questions. My question is where are you from? And yeah, where are you from?
So I'm from the United Kingdom. I'm from a little village called Chesterfield. I say little, it's medium sized. It's got about 90,000 people in it. Nice place. Grew up here all my life. Have a lot of friends here. It's one of them just normal Midland towns here in the UK. Nothing too popular about it apart from a spire that is a bit bent. and it's called the Crooked Spire, and that's literally probably our claim to fame. And that's it really. There's nothing remarkable, but it's a nice little quiet place. It's nothing too bad.
I totally get it. The only thing my town has is a lighthouse, so I understand. First question I got for you right now is, what animal would you be and why?
What animal would I be and why? Why is that the most difficult question I could think of right now? All the other questions, I'd say a koala, because they're all, everyone looks at a koala and they go, "Ah, that's cute." And I'm not saying I'm cute. I'm just saying everyone, they're like a koala. It's not one of the animals that people go, "Oh no, I'm gonna stay away from that." It's not scary. It's just approachable. You trust it, and so I'd say a koala.
All right, good choice. Let's see. If you had one thing to bring with you to the desert island, what would it be?
Desert island. I'd say my phone. I'd only say my phone because since lockdown happened, it's been the only tool I've got to keep in contact with friends and family. And I think in modern day, we kind of look at things as like, oh, everyone should have one, but everyone doesn't. And it's this sort of thing that connects everyone to everyone right now. And we kind of look at it and we can take advantage of certain things that we have. But we live in a time now where we can literally be connected to anyone around the world, no matter where they are. And I think a phone kind of lets me do that. I can still socialize with people. I can keep in touch. Yeah, fair enough. I can't eat it and I can't drink it, but at least I'm able to say my final goodbyes to someone. So there's that option. But yeah, I'd say I've tried to go a day without my phone, and I don't know when it happened. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be in the last 3 or 4 years. But I can admit I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to picking up my phone. I'm addicted to going on Facebook, Instagram. Now TikTok. That's a new thing for me as well. TikTok. Never touched it until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then I picked it up, and all I find myself is going up, up on a screen, and I'm like, what am I doing? But it's addictive.
I usually stop going through it once I see people going, "Hey, it's 3 a.m. Shouldn't you be in bed?"
Well, I know there's an app on the phone now which tells you your screen time, and it's digital well-being. So you can set it so it shuts off at certain times, and it tells you what you're using too much of. Since I've been going to sleep with Twitch left on, because I always like to have someone on lurk at least and just keep it running. And I usually wake up about 5 minutes ahead, where they've all been passed to someone else, and I wake up with a completely different streamer than what I was watching. But my average screen time is now 21 out of 24 hours. And I'm like, what are the 3 hours that I'm not using? Where's they gone?
It's too funny. I feel like I missed the question somewhere. I'm really sorry. I apologize, everybody. Like I said, I'm trying to do like multiple things at once, so we'll get to your questions as fast as I can. Tell us about Spire War Dogs. Is your next question?
Okay, so Spire War Dogs was actually the thing that got me into streaming altogether. When lockdown for the coronavirus hit us in the UK in about March of 2020, we were playing Call of Duty as friends, and there's about 10, 12 of us, and we were playing for a good 7-8 hours a day. It was a way where we kept in contact with each other. It's the way we could still have fun and a laugh. Pardon me. We were all sociable people anyway. We all worked in town centre bars, or we all gathered together, socialised together virtually 2-3 times a week. So when lockdown hit, it was like, oh no, what do we do now? And, we could have done the Zoom phone calls, but we thought, no, let's do something where we're engaging, we're fun, and, we're all happy. So we started playing Call of Duty, and I said, you know what? We're playing for a long time. but why don't we do something a little bit meaningful with it and give back to a community? And we decided we were going to do a fundraiser. So we did our first ever 24-hour stream in June for a local hospice, which was called Ashgate Hospice. They helped people who was towards the end of their life, terminally ill people, made them comfortable, supported families, and we raised a nice little chunk of money for them. And at that point, I just knew we couldn't stop it there. And I started to step things up, not just doing the Spy Wardos things, but me personally to get into streaming. I used that as a stepping stone and a platform. And from then on, I thought every single month we need to be doing something. We've decided to pick charities each month, a different cause. So we did Health for Heroes, which is a veterans charity here in the UK. We did Mind, which is a mental health charity. Chesterfield Pride March, which is an equality cause here in my hometown. And this month we've got a fundraiser for a charity called Crisis, which is a homeless prevention charity. But it's something that I thought, if that started me on this journey, and bear in mind I love doing what I do right now, and I can never think, if that started me on this journey, why I should stop doing that. And I kind of feel it's something that I have to give back to each month, because I've never been happier. I've never been more motivated, determined, ambitious, confident. And I give that thanks to what we started as a group. And now we've just started stepping it all up. We've started building something great, and we've got a nice little bunch of people, and it's just getting better and better and better. It's so much more fun, and yeah, it's just streamlining it, getting it better. And this year, I think we hope to do 12 fundraisers, so once per month at a minimum. We're also going to fit other little causes in between as well. But yeah, charity's always been a big thing for me. A major thing. It's just my way of giving back on a platform that I think can help me do that.
That's awesome, man. I really like that. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to pull it up on my phone so it'd be easier, but my phone's about to die. Kitty wants to know, what's the most useless talent you have, if any? What is the most useful talent you have, if any?
Most useless talent, probably bending my thumb to a full 90-degree angle. That's probably the most. I don't know what use that is. It's just perfectly flat. Apparently, not a lot of people could do that, but I was told anyway. My most useful talent, I'd like to say it's finding a quality in everyone. At least one quality. I don't like the fact that people can judge someone from the get-go without even saying a word, or without getting to know them a bit more personally. So the first thing I do is, when getting to know someone, is find something that person has got that is unique to them. And I think people are too quick to assume someone is rubbish at something, or they're not on the same level as them. And what people sometimes don't realize is everyone is starting from somewhere. So I think the best talent I have is just to find one spark in someone. Find something, that a quality that is unique to them, and it kind of encourage them to grow it. I like to see people shine, and I like to see people doing what they can. And hopefully now I've got this start of a platform, it can inspire some people to do that.
Nice, I like it. And Sloppy can do that thumb thing too. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, he's about that life too. What's the best and worst thing you've ever ate?
Worst thing, red onion, because I'm highly allergic to that. So it's kind of dangerous. So there's that one. The best thing I ever ate, it would probably be my mum's lasagna. I've tried to copy it. I've asked her to show me step by step, and I've even done it simultaneously with her step by step, and yet she can still make it better. and I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, or if she's sneaking something in and not telling me a secret recipe, or you know, in 20 years' time, I'm going to get a recipe passed down from the family saying this is it. I'm not sure, but I've literally stood right next to her, copied every single thing bit by bit, and still no. I'm thinking of switching them one time and just saying that's hers and this is mine. But I think she'll probably catch on to that.
I get it. My mom makes this dessert for us every Christmas, and I have no idea how she does it. I couldn't tell you to save my life. So if you guys got any questions out there, let us know. Just add SupForce, and I will get to them as fast as I can. I'm trying to do multiple things. If you see a little sidebar on Getting Carried's camera, that's why I'm trying to do a little weird echo thing. But how long have you been a mixologist for?
Officially, I'm not actually classified as a mixologist here because you have to do a certain test. And that is just, I think it's speed pouring 100 shots without using a measure. And that's where there's some certain rules to do it. I've made certain cocktails. I've been working behind bars on and off for about 6 years, 7 years. So it's something I've done a lot of. There are cocktails I can make off the top of my head. My favorite ones to make is a porn star martini. Love those drinks anyway. Making them is quite simple. Either that or a Long Island iced tea. Again, enjoy making them. Very simple to do. Taste amazing. But I say about 5-6 years. I've been on and off with bar work. It's a good job to have. You meet a lot of interesting people, but at the same time, it can be so draining. They always say the customer is always right, which for 90% of the time, that's perfectly fine. I can make a sex on the beach. That is orange juice, peach schnapps, vodka, and you can have cranberry juice on top of it, or you can have a more sweeter strawberry flavored liqueur on top of it. And then I had someone come to me who ordered this drink and said, "Can you do this again properly, please?" And I went, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You're missing the lemonade." I said, "Sex on the Beach doesn't have lemonade." And she was adamant, point blank, for a good 30 minutes that, yeah, it had it in, but it just didn't. So it's one of them things that's the customer is always right to a certain degree, and then they're just wrong. And I learned that in bar work quite quickly.
Okay, those guys, they'll get to you every time. But I had no idea that you did bar work, and I might have to fly you out here because I love a drink, but I don't have a bartender on tap, so. Alright, let's see if we can get another question. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have 2 little brothers. I'd say little. The one's 28 and the other one's 26, I believe. Great people, very, very hard workers. One's just become a father, and I'm now an uncle to a baby girl. I think they called her again. I think it's Remy. It's one of them names that I keep remembering and forgetting because it sounds like an antacid. And I pointed it out quite stubbornly over Christmas, but I cannot wait to meet her. Becoming an uncle was a major stepping stone last year for me, and I cannot wait to meet my niece. But yeah, it's 2 very, very smart, intelligent, hardworking brothers. One of them is the smartest person I know. Hands down, the smartest person I know. He's beat me at every little thing I've done in life. And when I say beat, I mean he's just done it better. So I was a member of Youth Parliament. He became a member of Youth Parliament here in the UK. I got to sit in the House of Lords. He got to sit in the House of Commons, which is the chamber up. I went to university to do a foundation degree. He went to university to do a full-on degree. So everything I've done in life, he's just done one little bit better. But I like to think I kind of inspired him to just do that. In reality, he's just done it all himself. would be football or soccer. Favorite team? Now that depends. If my dad asks me, it's Manchester United. If my best friend asks me, it's Liverpool. If no one asks me, it'll be none of them. Sport, I'd like to say, I mean, I can watch sport and I can get all into it, but it's not something I follow with a passion. I can be involved as much as I can, and it is a great atmosphere, especially if you're watching big World Cup matches or if you're watching Formula One or rugby. I can watch it all the way through, but religiously follow it every single day and argue and get into it, and as much as I see other people doing, it just doesn't do it for me. I did used to be a long distance runner, so I used to run 10,000 meters. I used to run 16-mile cross country courses. You wouldn't think that now. I am I'm 92 kilograms. I used to be really, really skinny. So my training sessions would be 16 miles 3 times a week, which is quite a long distance 3 times. And I did that until I was about 16. I got to the nationals here in the UK once. The regionals, I was there 3 out of 5 years I was doing it for. And I really, really enjoyed it. But I got to about college time, and I don't know when it happened or what day it was. It could have been a Wednesday for all I knew, but it just made me stop it altogether. I just stopped doing it. I just couldn't put all the effort and time I did into that, as well as put it into my college and my coursework and my exams. And I then started going out and socializing and partying at that age, and I just kind of lost touch of it, really. And it's a shame, really. I've lost 34 kilogram since last July, which is 68 pounds. So it's something I've been working on and getting back to that sort of weight sort of thing. But it's if I had to choose any sport to be my favourite, it would probably be long distance running. It would probably be like athletics and the Olympics, basically.
But anyone wants to know what's your favorite charity and why?
What was that? Sorry. Uh, favorite charity? It would be Mind. Mind is a mental health charity, as I said earlier on, and they were the they were the go-to point I had when I had a major breakdown. So I was told to give them a call by a friend, and at that point I was at the lowest I'd been in my entire life. So I got to a really, really dark place mentally, and I thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose here. I'll just give them a call. And what started off as a little, all right, I'll call them, turned out to be something that probably saved my life. They were instantly that they answered the phone within 2 seconds. They listened. They signposted where I needed to be. They got me onto a track that I could go from point A to point B to point C slowly and gradually. And since that moment, I have never been in a better place. So that charity, from if it could do that to me, potentially how many people they could help and how many people they do help is limitless. And I will never, ever, ever be able to repay what they did for me. And hopefully they get a lot more coverage than they've had recently, especially during this time right now. Everyone's facing a lot of dark times with mental health. So I think it's very, very important that it gets out there.
This button is not working for me all of a sudden. Do you have any pets? And if not, what pet would you get?
So I did have two cats. I had one called Ginny and one called Stella. I say did. I do have one called Ginny now. Stella abandoned me completely. She kept coming back. They were allowed outside, so she went out, and then she came back a week later, and she'd put a little bit of weight on, and I'm like, you've been out for 7 days and you've come back a little bit chubbier here. So she then went back out again, and then 3 months later she came back. And I'm here calling vets, asking if she's gone missing. I'd given up completely, thinking she had gone. And it turns out she'd just gone to the neighbour across the road, and they had been feeding her. And it turns out she had just abandoned me completely. So I have one cat. One cat.
This button does not want to work anymore. So my question is the big question: Marvel or DC, and why?
Marvel or DC? Now that's the toughest question. I'd say DC, but only because I think it's more raw, and I'm not even going to say the word realistic because I don't think either of them are realistic. But I think DC is more darker and more raw, and I think its story is more deep. I think Marvel is great for the effects. It's great for the storyline. It's great for the comedy moments and things, especially with Avengers, and you've got Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. But DC for me is a little bit more darker and it's just raw, and so I'd say DC if I was just watching it from start to finish on any of the film wise. DC definitely haven't cut it. They've definitely not cut it compared to what Marvel's done. But comic book wise, DC for me any day.
Good.
Oh, it's real, all right.
Good choice. Oh my god! So I muted you. There we go. So yeah, definitely good choice in the DC because DC is all that matters. Marvel's good. I like Marvel. I'm more of a, if you haven't noticed, DC guy. Let's see if we got any more questions. If not, I got my questions. I think I got them all. Oh, what's your... Okay. What color is your favorite, and are you left-handed or right?
So I'm right-handed, and my favorite color is blue. Just simply blue. I don't know why. I just love the color blue. It's probably how I feel most of my life sometimes, and then I just kind of stuck with it. But a little bit dark there, but no, blue's sky. It's just ocean. To be fair, I've always wanted to live by the sea. So my favourite view in the world is in a place called Cornwall in Newquay. I actually went surfing there one time, which ended terribly. But yeah, I've always wanted to live by the sea. So I'd say blue.
Good choice. I keep it's a pain in the butt. What is your favorite Twitch channel besides your own, and why?
I think that depends on the mood I'm in, because if I want to laugh, I'll go and watch Kismet or Scares. Guaranteed to get me howling at times. If I want to just smile and watch someone who I could, will guarantee to brighten my day, it would be like Madly Invincible. If I want to just go wow, awesome skills, it'd be TJ Spoof or Strong Boom. There's loads of as I said earlier, I like to find a quality in everyone, and I think it kind of always depends on what mood I'm in. But there are them who they're kind of multi-talented and they can do certain things. But for me, there's no end of streamers I can just sit there and watch. I've watched streams for 12, 13 hours at a time, and actively been involved and talking and chatting along, and it's just been like the greatest several hours, and that day. And I think if anyone's going to look for a streamer, and they just want an all-round cheering up, or they want to get involved with it, I think for me it'd have to be Scurbs. Scurbs has just been one of them streamers that I've always gone to and guaranteed to laugh.
The one time I gotta use this button, it breaks on me. What is something you collect or have a lot of?
Photos. So whenever I go out on a night out, or whenever I go somewhere with friends, and it could be for a weekend away, everything, I love taking photos. I'm starting to build a wall. I can't show it yet because I'm redecorating, but I have a wall in my living room which is full, top to bottom, of photos from particular memories I've had with people. And it's something I always look back at and think, you know what, no matter how lonely I ever feel or how bad I ever feel, I've got that right there. And it's kind of that reminder. So photos have always been that sort of thing where it allows me to look back and see some of the best times of my life. So yeah, anything I can take a photo of when I'm out and about, I'll just love it. No matter how bad it is or how embarrassing it is, it just gets taken and then it gets put up on a wall.
Nice, man. I like that. Seems like everybody else likes that one too. If you could take control of SupForce for a day, common question, what would you do and what would you change?
Change is the easiest. That's probably the easiest question I've had all night. Nothing, and I wouldn't want to touch it. I've from start to finish. Right, well, I wouldn't say finish because I'm still continuing that journey right now. I cannot find a single fault. And I say that because I've got experience with several Discords before where I've been part of those groups that you feel like a number in some of them. And when you feel like a number, that's all you become. SupForce is probably the first and only Discord I've ever been a part of and where I felt like a person. I've been treated like a friend. I've been treated like a part of the community. And then eventually it feels like a complete family. So change-wise, nothing at all. If I had to control it for a day, what would I do? Make everyone play a massive Warzone lobby together. That would probably be everyone just playing a massive Warzone lobby together. Just have a full whack off stream for about 3 hours long, where everyone's just playing Warzone matches, all as a big private lobby. That would probably be that'd probably be amazing fun.
Oh, I know a lot of people that like that. And it's crazy because you say that because when you got in here, I actually noticed you, and then we started talking, and I think, me personally, you're probably one of the nicest and most genuinest person I've ever met in my life, and I love talking to you, and your streams are amazing, especially because you win at COD and I don't. So it's always nice to see what the win looks like. Let's see if we got any more questions. If you guys have questions, please ask them. And if you don't, we're going to stare into this camera until you get really, really bored of us. No, I'm just kidding. What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing where you live? Like, what's something there that that we don't have?
So here we have something called it's called Kerber Edge, and it's a huge trail with like a little cliff top, and you can literally look over a good 60 miles over to the horizon. It's just this huge area, and I could sit there for 4 or 5 hours just looking out, and especially when it's a summer's day and the sun's setting on it, and hands down, probably the most emotional view you can just look at, and I've not yet found anywhere like that. So that's probably my favourite place. It's called Kerber Edge. It's in, I think it's Derbyshire. It may be Yorkshire. If I say it's Derbyshire, people in Yorkshire will kick off. If I say it's Yorkshire, people in Derbyshire will kick off. So I think it's kind of on the border. So I'll just be mutual and say that it's on the border between Derbyshire and Yorkshire. But yeah, very, very nice place.
Here, try saying the last part again.
Here, try. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a spire that's crooked as well, and this is our claim to fame. It was built incorrectly, so it goes in a spiral shape, and it was done completely by accident. It wasn't done on purpose, so it was a complete building failure that we managed to turn into something that's now a national landmark. I don't know how, but it's literally our claim to fame, and apparently people come from all around the world to see it. It's probably Derbyshire's version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Next question is: are you playing in the COD tournament this weekend? Yes, this weekend.
I didn't hear that because I think you muted.
We're gonna make it through this, buddy. I promise. Are you playing in the COD tournament this weekend?
I haven't signed up to it yet because I'm scouting for a partner. But yes, I will definitely be taking part in that COD tournament. You just got to. It's one of them. You never know. I might get a lucky shot and shout clip that over and over again, and then completely get lost in the hype and end up losing the next 5 games. But yeah, it's one of them events. Any tournament, no matter, I think everyone should get involved in these tournaments because they can be so much fun. And what you got to lose? It's one of them things. You can literally have the best laugh you can have on a game, especially when it's a group like SupForce.
Make sure I didn't miss any questions. Boop, boop, boop. Not gonna ask that question. Brose wants to know the hard question. How did you get so awesome?
I tried to say this in a way that doesn't sound like. I can't, I'm not going to sit here and be big-headed. I'm not awesome. But my mum and dad met one day. And it went from that. And then, no, I think, to be fair, I've, in all seriousness, my dad always taught me to, first thing, respect what you have and not what you haven't. Because somewhere in the world there's always with someone less fortunate than you. So I've always been brought up to respect what I've got. The second thing is to always be polite to a complete stranger, because you don't know who that person's going to be. You don't know if that person is going to be the biggest helping hand of your life, or you don't know if they could be the worst person you've ever met. But you don't know that until you've engaged, until you've given them a chance and you've given them an opportunity. So I've always been taught those morals from a very, very young age. And I think I just grew up on that. I just grew up respecting every little thing I've got in my life. It's not, the easiest times I've ever had in my life, but I've still got to appreciate that it's going to be a lot better than what some people in this world haven't got.
It's definitely a good answer. What is the most interesting item on your bucket list?
So, I'd like to travel to each continent. I'd like to be able to go to each place. I don't just mean North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and is it Australasia? Oceania? I don't know what it is there. But I forgot what the continent name is. But I also mean things like Antarctica as well. Because obviously, there you can just look out vast openness. I think that would be an eye-opener. But I would like to travel to each and every continent. That's definitely something I want to pick up on my bucket list.
On that same note, what is something like, What is something extreme you want to do? Like jumping out of a plane or lighting yourself on fire for a stunt, like that kind of stuff.
Okay, jumping out of a plane, probably not. I'm terrified of heights. But if the plane's on the ground, I'll happily jump out of it then. It doesn't have to be in the sky. Then yeah, I'm all down for that. But if I think extreme wise, that doesn't involve heights. It's gonna sound weird, but I've always wanted to go to a shooting range, and I think it's just because I want to. I've never held, even a paintball gun. So it's something like that. It's something. Obviously, I play games like Call of Duty and everything like that, and people say it can be a really really weird experience, especially if you've never done that before. But I've always wanted to just go and try it and see what it's about, and and just give it a shot, quite literally. But that's literally one thing I want to. I've thought, you know what, probably the most extreme thing I've ever wanted to try.
Nate. God. Um, you guys are now out there. You guys don't have guns. Like your police officers don't even have guns, right?
So here you have to have a specific license. So if you're a farmer, you can have certain yield, or like a certain sort of strength of a gun. But other than that, it literally is military and police, and even they can't have them in personal use. So it's got to be when they're at work and when they're signed it out and things like that. So for gun ownership, it's very, very, very strict here. So there's no anyone can carry them, or there's no you can get a permit as a normal citizen. You have to have a reason for having it. So if you're a gameskeeper, if you're a farmer, things like that, then yeah. But any other, no. So I think people are really fixated on the Antarctica thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there.
if if this wasn't going down, I'd probably say let's. I describe like my perfect weekend. So it involved definitely doing something with friends, and that could be something like bowling. It could be mini golf. I say mini golf because if it's real golf, then no, I can't even attempt that. I have the. You've seen me if you've seen me play Call of Duty. Imagine in real life what the aim I've got with a small ball and a club. So I probably end up missing it so many times. So mini golf, yes. Normal golf, no. Uh, but it will literally, for me, spending time with friends is absolutely essential. I love getting involved and being sociable, and any activity, getting involved with that, brilliant. If it's a typical day, then it's just lounging about, watching something on Netflix, video gaming, uh, and that's pretty much it. But work-wise, it's been bar work for a long time now. Before that, I was an insurance liability analyst, which going from bar work sounds a completely different world because it completely is. Uh, but my job was to assess claims that were kind of 50-50 and see if someone was more liable than the other from a legal standpoint. So that was something I was very, very interested in. Weirdly, I had a lot of interest in politics, which is something I don't talk about a lot because I hate to bring that up on streams. It's something it's one of them no areas. I think everyone has got an opinion and that should be respected. I think so. I always like to eliminate that sort of thing on stream, but social issues is something I've always been passionate about, and You know, I watch the news and things like that daily, but really, really boring until I started streaming. I could not think of anything that I do now that is worse than what I did before. 'Cause what I do now is literally I'm living my dream. So it's just for me, gaming and streaming. If I could do this for the rest of my life, I'd still be on board.
Definitely good answers. I like that. Just checking chat again. They're talking about this DMR getting nerfed. What was your views about that one?
I've said I've hated this game and I love this game at the exact same time. When the DMR was invented in Call of Duty, it went from loving and hating to about 99% hating and about 1% loving. It was, for me, the worst thing they ever did to that game. Every single time I died, it was to someone with a DMR. And they would say they were more skilled, but I used to have a 0.8 KD on multiplayer in Call of Duty. The DMR came out and I went up to a 1.7, which kind of shows you it's not that gun that's, it's not your skill, it's that gun. Because if it's doing that for me and I'm about trash, so if it's doing that for me, then it's definitely that gun. I've been told it has been nerfed now for some, but the update's rolling out. But I cannot wait to find out if that's actually gone now. It's the most horrible thing they've ever had in that game. I hate it.
Sounds like Spook's got to find another reason to be bad. Can you imagine? Jeez. So if you can only take let's do it this way. Exactly. If you could do it this way, what top 3 games besides Call of Duty would you take with you if you could only have 3 games for the rest of your life?
So I'd have Destiny. Destiny, I love the story of that. If it had the player base Call of Duty had, like it did back in the day, then brilliant, love it. Second game I'd have is, does the Crash Bandicoot trilogy count as one game? They technically released it as one game with all 3 involved. So I'd have Crash Bandicoot because I just love Crash Bandicoot. And the third one would probably be Need for Speed Underground 2. Definitely Need for Speed Underground 2. I love that game again. It's one of them where it actually got me into certain racing games. So yeah, I'd like Need for Speed Underground 2.
What? Everyone wants to know what's your favorite next Netflix show? Yeah, nailed
it. Netflix show. Community. I'm watching that right now. It's called Community. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar about it, but it's the sitcom comedy based on people going to community college, and I have not laughed so much until I've watched that. And there's certain things I've discovered recently that I never knew existed, and yet everyone else does. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm in my 30s now, or if it's just because I'm unfortunate to not have discovered them. I'm hoping it's because I'm just the second reason and not the fact that I am 30 and starting to feel like I'm getting on a bit. But yeah, it's the ridiculousness. That's something I've discovered recently. The YouTube show. Again, I've never laughed so much since discovering these things. If it was my favourite show of all time, it'd have to be Game of Thrones. I'm a massive Game of Thrones fan. And I know it's cut right. With this, I refused to give it a shot. Well, actually, I won't say I watched the first couple of episodes numerous times, but then I never got past episode 2. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit down and watch it from season 1 to season 5 at the time. I think that was when I started watching it, when 5 was out. So I watched season 1 to season 5, and I think from start to finish, I must have slept about 2 hours a day, and the rest of it was watching that. And I thought, if a TV program can do that, then yeah, I'm all for it. Wasn't too keen on the ending, but loved the other parts of it.
There we go. That ending, yeah, well, then there was something else. Something else. You guys have any more questions for him? Just at SupForce, and I will ask them. Everyone hates the ending. Facts. Hard facts. So, if you could, I want to know, what would you change? That's what I want to know. What would you change about the ending?
So, I didn't like the fact that they made Daenerys. I don't want to give it out as spoilers, so I've got to do this without giving out any spoilers. Well, 1 minute. Can I give spoilers out? Bear in mind that has been out for years now. Please say I can talk about the ending, because it has been out for absolute years. It's one of them. But yeah, you can read them as well. I definitely want to read them. But yeah, it's not the end yet. But I would have liked it better if the good person didn't turn into the bad person. And that's probably the best way I could put it without spoiling it. So, yeah, that's probably the best answer I can give.
Damn this button. Dude. That's funny. Oh. This is like the 3rd time I've seen this, but apparently people want you to grow a beard. How? Why and how has this not happened yet, apparently?
Right, Evans is my friend. He's been one of my friends for about 9-10 years. And he has the most awesome beard. No offense, Yoshi. But he has the most awesome beard I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's not like I've not tried, because I have. But for some strange reason, and my dad had the same problem as well, I cannot grow a beard. Well, I say I can grow. Do you know the thing in November that people do, where it's called Movember? So it's for charity, where they don't shave throughout the entire November, and then they grow a beard during that entire month. For Movember, I have to start in December the year before. So, and then maybe in November, I've got enough facial hair to class like I've done that challenge. So, yeah, I just can't grow a beard. I don't know what it is. I get a few hairs every little patchy bits, but even that takes about 3 months.
So, I talked about this earlier with the thumb thing, where you bend your thumb like that. Sloppy can do it too, but Sloppy also can't grow a beard. So I'm wondering if that's a sacrifice you have to make to bend your thumb backwards, is not being able to grow a beard.
Oh my god, it could be. Maybe that is the natural sign for I can't grow a beard. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that genetic implant there to bend your thumb all the way backwards is the genetic part of the hair growing part. Maybe it's just taken over that part, and it can no longer grow facial hair. It could well be. I just wish I had Sloppy's skills on video games. He is absolutely awesome at Rocket League and Apex, and yeah, I've got his rage. I've definitely got similar rage to him, but that's about it.
That's too funny. I love it. I'll just check for any more questions. No. We're we're still on the DMR thing. DMR. Was this DMR just like totally crushed your guys' life on COD?
The DMR, as far as I'm concerned, I'd be happy if that was the one thing in this world that right now just went away. It just disappeared altogether and never came back. And then I could happily play this video game that I've been loving and hating at the same time at equal levels. But yeah, that DMR can just go. It's complete trash. Anyone who uses it is trash. And I've used it before, so I can call them trash. So I'm part of that. So I've never used it in Warzone 1 because I don't have any skill. But it's one of them guns that just should not have existed. And apparently, I've just read they've nerfed the gun, but once again they forgot to nerf the blueprint. So if you own the blueprint, which is you have to pay for, it's still unnerfed. Don't know how true that is.
Sounds like a pay to win plan right there. Where'd it go? If you got a new tattoo, well, let's say if you got a new tattoo right now, what would be the next tattoo you get? Like, I know you said you wanted a gaming sleeve, but what would be the next tattoo?
Sonic the Hedgehog. Definitely Sonic the Hedgehog. To this day, Sonic the Hedgehog remains the only game that I'd say is designed for a child. Because let's face it, it is a universal game that you can play from the age of 3, apparently, that I've yet to complete. I get to the casino rounds on Sonic and Hedgehog 2. I get to that round, and I just can't pass it. I had one Sega Mega Drive that went bye-bye because I threw it out the window. For the record, I was about 6 or 7 years old here, so I'm not saying that it'd be any different now that I'm 30, but at that age, video games were the most stressful experience a 7-year-old could have had. There's nothing really, anything else that could really generate as much stress than that at my age then. So Sonic was one of the most difficult games at that point, and I still loved it. So Sonic's always been one of the iconic gaming things and gaming characters for me. So yeah, I definitely had it on my arm. Definitely Sonic next. And to answer Marina's question, I have it in colour.
Made it so much easier than unmuting. Trying to get to that question. So, my question is, my personal question, could you survive an zombie apocalypse? And if so, how would you be able to do it? I'm a huge zombie fan, by the way.
A big zombie fan. Resident Evil 1 is probably one of the all-time greatest games. Amazing. I actually played Resident Evil Code Veronica X, which still remains the best storyline I've ever played. The storyline and like the lore of Veronica X was just gripping. Never completed it, like I never completed Resident Evil 1. The reason why I never completed Resident Evil 1 is because my dad played that, and I used to watch him as a child. And my mum went absolutely crazy because for 2 weeks I had nothing but nightmares of zombies coming out of baths and zombies coming out of wardrobes. So I wouldn't open my wardrobe for about 2 weeks. I had to get my mum to come inside and open the wardrobe for me. I hated the bath for about a month because I kept thinking there was a zombie inside it. But when it comes to a zombie apocalypse, I suppose I've got to go back to my name, and it's called Getting Carried. So I suppose I could survive a zombie apocalypse, but it depends if I surround myself with the right people, because I definitely need carrying. I will definitely need some support with me. If it was on my own, no chance. I'm probably going to be one of the zombies quicker than surviving it. I'm probably the starting one, if anything. I'm the one that starts that pandemic of the zombie apocalypse, because if I was completely on my own, I'd just be lost. I'd just go up to one, say I kicked it in the shin and it probably missed it, and then running wise, I used to be a runner. Now not so much. I get out of breath after 2 minutes of going up a slight slope at 2 miles per hour. So yeah, zombie apocalypse wise, if I had people around me, yes, I probably would survive it. If I didn't, then I'm zombie food.
The Resident Evil movies were amazing. We played. I love the movies. I don't know about you, but I think the movies are fantastic. I wish I owned them all, but I only have like a few. I think the first one was a little rough, but once they kind of caught that groove, I think they kind of went waiting for it. Yeah, Pat messed up. Man, this is my screen is messing up. I'm so sorry. Anyways, so first of all, without pictures of your friend's beard, I still remain the champ. And since kind of like I'm the host of this stream, I'm just saying I have the better beard. I got you muted, so you can't even disagree. He agrees. Everybody heard it first. You heard it here first. What would be your dream destination to go? Like, if you had only one time to move or pack up tomorrow and jump on a plane, where would you want to be permanently? Like, without seeing it, without ever being there, where would you want to go right now permanently?
That's a tricky one. I'd say I don't know about that one, because I've been abroad a few times. I've been to things like Greece. I've been a few places in Europe, Spain, France, but home will always be home to me. But if I had to choose anywhere else that's a bit to explore, see, without knowing the places, I wouldn't know. But I've always liked the idea of definitely doing is it the Route 50, is Route 64 or Route 54, something like that in America, in North America, where you go across the states. I forgot what it is, but it's the long road. 51, Route 51. I don't know which one it is now. It's one of them roads. Oh, Route 50. I'll let you tell. 66. Oh, 66. That's it. Yeah, Route 66. Yeah, I'd definitely like to do that. I'd definitely like to do the visiting and just traveling along and meeting new people, new places. Yeah, and if I do come across a place that has a giant ball of twine, amazing. That's just like the pinnacle on top of the trip. So yeah, I'd love to be going that Route 66. But live there, Hands down, teamwork. I think you have to have teamwork. I think if you think you can survive an entire apocalypse on your own, then you're probably like a Bear Grylls or you're a survivor anyway. If you're a normal person or an average person that hasn't got the skills to, I don't know, build a fire and catch 1,000 fish or anything like that, then you're going to need teamwork. And I think any apocalypse, surround yourself with people you trust. Strongest people, unfortunately, you're going to need people who know what they're doing. So surrounded by strong-willed, minded people, intelligent people, strong people. But yeah, teamwork definitely number one. I don't think anyone could survive it on their
own. Good choice. Good choice. Now, are you? Next one of my favorite questions is: are you into horror movies? And if so, what would be your favorite monster / serial killer?
So yes, I love horror films. I don't like the new ones as much. I don't like new horrors as much. My favorite horrors were going back to the Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street series, uh, Halloween. Not new Halloweens, but even though that was quite good, the new Halloween was rather good. But the old 80s style slasher horrors. So Nightmare on Elm Street would always be my favorite horror film. Freddy Krueger terrified me. I mean, to be fair, I think he's probably terrified a lot of people. It got a bit far fetched in the middle, a little bit. Okay, where's this going? But at the start, it was great. And a little fun fact for you here: Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was the first film Johnny Depp ever partaked in. He was Nancy's boyfriend.
So, my next personal favorite question is Jason, Freddy, or Michael Myers? Now you imagine there's only one answer.
Jason. Jason to me is just the rawest badass out there. I think, yeah, Freddy's got his magical powers, but but I think Jason for me would, yeah, it's Freddy's there, but as I said for DC, I like the rawness and the darkness of it, and I think, Friday the 13th delivered that with Jason. Yeah, Michael Myers. I wouldn't go up to him on a day and shake his hand, and I'm all for not judging people by the cover, but I think anyone can agree if Michael Myers slowly walked towards you, that's one person you would cross the road for. So but yeah, for me, it's going to be Jason. Jason, I don't know why. What's yourself? What's yours?
Gonna be like 5 different things. Um, Mine is Michael Myers, and that was the right answer. So we're gonna end the stream now. Say goodbye, get carried. I'm kicking him out of the server, everybody. It's good talk. um. So in that case, how would you? I want to. What would be a great strategy to get away from Jason? Like, if you were in Camp Crystal Lake, what would you do to get away from him? Slow him down, or put him down?
Well, we did something in our high school, secondary school, called media studies, and we had to do coursework based on horror films, and we learned what was called to us the generic rules of horror films. So they all have the same thing where you've got someone ditzy who dies first, you've got someone who isn't a virgin who dies, and it's the one person who's like the most innocent one that survives. So I'd hope to be the most innocent one there, for one, because that's guaranteed survival. Two, I one thing I've never understood is why is every single car they get into broken down? Why does it never work? Why is it that there's never gas in it? They got there fine, and like, why is it just doesn't work to get away? So the first thing I do is travel as far away from that place as possible. I leave the other group there. If they want to stay there, they can stay there. But I'm running that direction, no matter what it is, for at least 50 miles. So yeah, I just don't understand some of these things that in horror films that just don't make sense to me. For example, if you hear a weird noise upstairs and you've been watching on the news that a serial killer is loose, don't go upstairs. I mean, if it just doesn't make sense to me. And why is it no one's got signal? We live in a time where we have 5G, 4G on a mobile phone. Why is it they don't have a signal on their phone to call the emergency service? I mean, it just doesn't make sense sometimes. It reminds me of the scary movie scene where she has a selection of weapons to pick from, and she picks up the banana. And that's literally what I think every single horror film is. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me how these people can just think, I'm going to run away from danger. What? Just do that. Just run away. Don't confront it. I just don't understand half these rules sometimes. I just think it's just so ironic that the car's broken down, they've got no signal, and the maniac is always alive at the end and comes back again the next film. It's just, they're unbeatable at times.
I don't know. That would have been a hard question for me because I don't know. I'd be the guy that probably would just be like sleeping in bed and they just shove a pike through, call it a day. If you guys got any more questions, throw them up in the chat for me, please. Thank you. If not, I got a question for you. Are you going to be streaming today? Let me unmute you. Jeez, I crossed my arms like I knew what I was doing.
What did you say? Sorry. Hello. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Are you going to be streaming today?
Yes, I'm going to be streaming some Warzone today, but we're going to do something a little bit new. Me and my friends, we were talking about something that we can make it a little bit more funnier. We didn't think the DMR was going to be nerfed today, so we knew we were going to lose pretty much every single match anyway. Yes, it has been nerfed, but we're not cancelling what we're going to do. We're going to do something called You Won't Do It Warzone Wednesdays, which means viewers and our own teammates can say something like, you won't do it, and then they give us an instruction. So it could be, you won't do it, drop your guns. And whatever they say, we have to do. So I literally could be the last person standing against one person for the win. And if the viewer redeems the channel point for you won't do it and says you've got to run in the gas and, kill yourself, then I'd have to do it. So we're making it a bit more challenging. We're adding some things in there, and hopefully the audience is nice, and hopefully my friends are nice, and they don't just make the entire experience a living hell for me. But knowing my friends, that's probably going to happen anyway. I'm probably going to find myself with a pistol against someone with an LMG pointing at my head. So it's going to be an eventful stream for sure.
Well, it sounds amazing. I bet. I'm excited for it because I've been saving channel points, so, I'm not a nice person. Sorry to tell you. M wants to know, well, after this question, why don't we have you get ready to have you raid over? So we'll have you set up your stream and all that stuff in just a second. But let's ask this question real fast. What is your one guilty pleasure?
Okay, I've been waiting for this one. For some reason, I just knew this was going to come up. I just knew I was going to be asked for this one. And out of all the questions I've been asked tonight, this is only one question I actually thought I had right. And even right now, I'm thinking, do I say it? Because it literally is a guilty pleasure, because I think it's the most trashiest thing I can do. But I'm not sure if you have them in America, but they're called Cocoa Pops. And it's a cereal. It's just a chocolate little rice cereal. You're supposed to put them into a bowl, you put milk in them, and you do. I can sit there and eat them raw out of the box without any milk, and just sit there eating these Cocoa Pops. And I don't know what it is or why it is. And I've asked friends, and they're like, no, that's just weird. But for me, I could put a film on Netflix and just tuck away. That's it.
Could you fucking imagine being muted for that whole time? I swore. I don't care. I'm so mad right now. Anyways, Getting Carried is an awesome person. We should all go check him out. No, I'm just kidding. We should go check him out. Check out the Feature Creator channel. Check out the events channel for the tournament this weekend. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Getting Carried is going to be in the tournament, so make sure you guys check him out when he's streaming. We're going to go let him... We're going to give him his final say. Then we're going to go rate him on. We're going to go rate him. Please check him out. Show him all the love of sport. Like I said, when I was muted, I'm a huge fan. He's an amazing, awesome person. So, yeah. We'll give it back over to you.
Right. So, you know what? I couldn't even have this scripted because I can stand here and sit here, shall I say, and list out so many names. First, big thank you, Broswood. Without you reaching out to me on Instagram when I was, asking for some support, some advice from people, I would not be here. So a huge thank you to you, dude. Honestly, without that, I'd not be part of this. And so thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for being that awesome person and looking to help and support others. Rabble, Scurbs, Marina, Yoshi, Boom, Spoof, Bloody Master, Kieran's, Lucifer, Kismet, Stoner. I could literally sit here and just list out every single name that I would just love to say thank you for from SupForce. I'd also like to use this time to say thank you to some of my best friends, Evans, Colton, who's Little Nook in the SupForce server, Daniel, who's in Shadows, Silver Apoc, Stephen, who, these are people who have been by my side through this entire journey. They've been amazing people. They've helped me from bottom down all the way up to the top. And you know what? I always feel that there's nothing I can do to repay that debt. And they'd always say there's no debt there. It's just them being friends, and that's brilliant. And I always feel that I need to step up and help because I can never repay what that did for me in my life. Just a massive thank you, guys. Honestly, thank you so much for every little bit of support you've given me over this short. It's only been 5 months, and I'm like, that's 5 months. Imagine what 3-4 years could do. And because I know there are people in SupForce who have been there for 2-3 years, and you're like, wow, this must be like the time of your life. And I'm like, I've been here 5 months, and that's how I feel. And I cannot imagine for what the next few years bring. So a massive thank you to the server. If anyone here is watching this and they are not part of SupForce, I would highly recommend you to just come in and even say hello. Because from that moment you get that welcome is the moment you think straight away, wow, this is a great community. So please come and say hello. Just from that moment, it's a seed being planted and it just grows into something amazing. So yeah, I'm just want to use this time to say thank you. It's been awesome. And I know this is just not even step one yet. This is not even step one. And that's the power of SupForce.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And like I said, you're an amazing person. People wouldn't be backing you. Trust me, we kind of talk about you a lot and say that you're doing amazing things. And that's what it's about. Like, if you don't reach out, we can't help you. So reach out and let us help you. So why don't you're a great human being. Stay awesome for sure. That's from Rabs, baby. Keep grinding. You deserve it, Carried. You're a kind-hearted, amazing individual. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to let you get set up on your stream. As soon as you get set up, let me know, and we'll raid you, and yeah. And I'll see you soon.
You guys, look forward to it.
See where the camera's going to go. Of course, put me the big one. Sweet. So we're going to give him a couple minutes. set up and ready for it. I wanted to let you guys know we have an events channel now. Go check it out. If you want to know what's going on, tournaments, movie nights, anything that's coming up. We got Ninja Monkeys has got an amazing stream coming up that they want to do, and we can collab with them and join their stream. So check it out. If you want to get into it, just get a hold of me. Yeah, sorry for the muting and the cutting out. Like I said, getting carries, not having a full setup. It echoes a lot, so I have to like mute 3 things just to try to move it forward. But I think he did great. I think he's an amazing person. I want you guys to check him out. Show him all the best love you can. The guy is active. He's always trying to help people out. Like he says, he sits in people's streams for hours. And to me, that's just amazing. Show support like that. So definitely show him some love. Let's make sure I got anything else to go over. I always do this because I never write anything down. That sounds good to me. Let me know when we're ready. Yep, I'm just waiting for him to get a hold of me and let me know he's on. Ready to go. I don't have my list up. So as soon as he jumps on reps, just cut me off and let's go. I already said goodbye to everybody. We're good to go. We're just sitting here waiting now. But actually, I'm gonna play his clip one more time from the starting soon screen, so that way when he gets on, we can just go over there. So everybody, stick around, show him some love, please and thank you. And I will catch you guys this weekend for the tournament. Sign up if you haven't. Later.